Hello and welcome to That British Homestead. Today, well, I thought we'd go through all of the seeds that we can sow in January. So let's get started. So I thought I'd start off with, I really like the warm weather crops. I get most excited about tomatoes, peppers, and aubergines really. I think it's because there's so many different varieties. I mean, tomatoes alone, there's like 3,000 varieties, which are just crazy, and they have like really cool backgrounds to them as well. But we're not going to be doing our tomatoes until February because they grow quite quickly, and it's just all about room because we do about 60 tomatoes a year. So because we do a lot of canning tomatoes, we eat them like they're going out of fashion. We're big bowls of cherry tomatoes in the summer, which we just snack on because they're so healthy for you. So like in the summer, it's like snack time is always tomatoes, peppers, you name it. It's like all you can eat buffet, right? But right now we're going to be looking at some sweet peppers, and I've got quite a bit of a stash to go on with our sweet peppers. If you've got some great varieties, stick them down below as we go through. So first one, oh, I'm terrible at pronouncing things. See it? Cabasa. It is a small sweet pepper. Jasmine loves the baby sweet peppers. Whenever we go out, she kind of eats them all. She's always like, oh, I'll harvest the baby peppers, mummy, don't worry. And then she sits there and she literally eats them all, so we don't get any at home. But like, she is getting like 12 of her 5 a day, like just harvesting. So that's a really great one. I like to have a lot of small baby peppers, great for lunch boxes, and most importantly, Jasmine loves them and eats a ton of them, so that's really good. Another small one is Red King. Red King, I believe it's an American variety, and it's actually bred to grow in short, colder seasons like we have in the UK. Although we can technically grow all year round, we can only grow like warm weather crops from May till about the end of September, depending on weather, touch wood, okay? So it is actually quite a shorter season. So we start them off super early and we hope for the best. California Wonder, you know, I always think California Wonder is the one that you get in the supermarket. It's a bit of a boring variety, but it always does so well. So we're going to go ahead and grow that this year. And they're really cheap to buy. I mean, there's 300 seeds in here, and I think it was like £2, maybe less, from mega seed stores. I buy my seeds from all over. This one's called YOLO. It was a good variety last year. We tend to keep these big peppers for our tomato sauces. You probably know that we absolutely adore our tomato sauces, so it's really important for us to have lots and lots of vegetables on hand to make sure that we have all of the nutrients we need in those tomato sauces. Additionally to that, I chop tons up and put them in the freezer. I'm actually thinking about roasting some this year and storing them in jars. Just because freezer space is on a premium. We have 4 freezers for vegetables and meat and stuff like that. That's a lot of freezers for a normal family. However, we do use them. So we are trying as much as possible to have things that doesn't require any electricity or space really in the freezers to store. So that would be a really good compromise in my mind anyway. There's another small baby pepper variety called Healthy. It is a lovely small red pepper. Jazzy prefers red and yellow peppers to green peppers because obviously they're sweeter. Children like sweet things. It's probably not groundbreaking. We did do ones that were stripy, which were really cool as well. She likes anything that's like really, really sweet, so we try to grow those ones for her. King of the North, another colder weather pepper. When I say colder weather, I mean like not California, like it'll grow in the UK. And this is a great one to sort of grow. It's got small peppers on it, so it was a very quick harvest. Once again, they're really sweet. and they're really nice, and she really does enjoy them. Great for lunch boxes. They're really cute. They don't have very many seeds in them, so you can just go ahead and chuck them in a lunchbox and then you can eat them like an apple. I think they look very nice. This one's called Assie. It is a sweet pepper. I got it ages ago in a variety pack, and I just have about 10 seeds left. So I've got quite a few in there, and they were quite old. So I'm going to go ahead and throw those into the mix. Next one is Nirvana. I think I've only got one more pepper of this left. Once again, this is a mini pepper because we eat quite a few of those. The mini peppers are like for fresh eating. The big peppers, I either chop them up, put them in salads and stuff like that as well, but mostly I'm putting them in the tomato sauces. I've also got a random sweet pepper that I've saved myself, so I'll be putting them in. Look how many seeds you get. It's a joke how many seeds you can get from a sweet pepper. That's why it's so good to go ahead and save seeds yourself. Bum, bum, bum. Number 2. You can also put in your chilies. Chilies need a long go at growing. Now, I think it's amazing that both peppers and chili plants are actually trees that grow like all year round in some countries, but obviously we've got frost, so they are only annuals here in the UK. But it's still very interesting. I'm still attempting to try to overwinter some of my peppers, maybe 1 year. But at the moment I'm going to be growing my chilies from scratch. There are 2 types of chilies that we like to grow. I like chilies, once again, for our tomato sauce. Chuck a couple of chilies in there, very mild, or we use them in like curries and stuff like that. But I really like fermented chilies. I was gonna say pickled chilies, but it's not true, it's fermented chilies. And one of the varieties I've got for that is this one here, which is a beautiful long foreign name, but it translates as paprika. So it is a long pickle chili, and I love these ones. I think they have fantastic flavour. And if you ever go to the kebab, right, that's what it boils down to. When you go to the kebab and you get the chilies, it's one of those ones, and I just really like them. I once went to a work function where I had to work in the summer, and they did like a buffet to say thank you to everyone, and they had these, and I was like, wow, these are amazing. And no one liked chili, so I got them all to myself. And from that year I was like, I need to grow these. So this will be our 2nd or 3rd year growing these, which is really exciting. So they are delicious. Cayenne pepper, we do have a love for cayenne pepper. There's this recipe that we do that is like a creamy cayenne pepper chicken pasta that Jasmine loves. So we get these and we dry them. But to be honest, we don't dry that many chilies, but it's fun to do and it's great. They're really pretty, so it's nice to be like, oh, we grow them ourselves, and they're really cool. So we'll be doing that again this year. Got some more of these pickling peppers. This was from a variety pack that I got last year. It was like a little calendar. I didn't do it this year because I've got so many of these left over. They're going to be the same variety, so I was like, oh, I'll wait until next year. But they're really fab. If you've got a chance to get one, honestly, it was worth it. Snap them up. These ones are so cute. I think that they are very pretty. They are tedious to go ahead and pick though. I think it took me about 30 minutes to pick all of the chilies off. It was maybe even longer. It took forever. They're very tiny. They're like this big, but they're so pretty. As you can see, they're all different colours, and I mean they're from purple to orange to white to green. They're really pretty little tiny chilies. They're quite fiery and quite warm. The name is Peri Fire, so they are really good. They're called a windowsill pepper. I guess that you could grow them on the windowsill. I planted them out into the allotment. They grew really well, and to be honest, I put them right by the chicken coop and it was quite shady, so they did really fab. So I was really impressed with them. So I'm definitely going to grow a variety of those. I ended up going ahead and drying the chilies and having them as like a chili flake, if that makes sense. Just grinding them up real quick. Honestly, grinding up chilies, you're like but yeah, it works out really well. We also make our own sweet chili sauce, which we love, and chili jam. So this is the sort of stuff that we go ahead and grow for that. There's certain things every year that I'm like, right, we have to have enough for this and that and the other. Chili sauce, chili jam, and of course our tomato sauce are like must-haves, you know, and potatoes and onions. You see, the list goes on and on. Jalapenos, I always call them jalapenos because it starts with a J. Look at the J, okay, it makes sense. But jalapenos are one of our my favourite things to eat. Nobody else eats them, but I love them fermented, and I go through stages of having them on everything, like literally everything. But since I've been pregnant, I'm like super sensitive to spice, which is so funny because me and my partner, I'll be like eating a curry and be like, oh, this is really nice, it tastes really great. And my partner will be bright red and dripping with sweat and being like, oh my God, I can't eat this. Whereas now, weird, isn't it, hormonals and stuff, but like anything slightly spicy, I'm like, oh, it's too spicy for me. Which is so funny because we were having a curry the other day and I was like, wow, this is so spicy. He was like, is it? I don't think it is. And normally it's the other way around. So normally I eat a lot of chilies on my food. Like if I had like a ham and mayonnaise sandwich, I'd put fermented chilies in there as well with like salad and stuff. Or if I was having like a chili or anything like cold salad, I'd have like like half a jar of pickled chilies on there as well. So I love these. So it's been my mission to grow a ton of jalapenos so that I can go ahead and do that and ferment them and then jar them up. And I even like them when they're a little bit soft. Like I love them. So that'll be something quite exciting to look forward to in the new year. Got some purple chilies here. My sister got these for me for my birthday. My birthday's in March, so it's like a little bit too late to do warm weather crops, but she always gets me, everyone gets me seeds. So she just got me a ton of seeds for Christmas as well, which I've like pushed into the mix, but they're not coming up yet for sowing. I said burying, sowing. But yeah, this is one of the ones that she got me, and they're just called purple chilies. They're really pretty looking. They're from eBay, so there's someone saved them from their own chilies, so they haven't got a proper name. Oh, and also within that packet you got some yellow chilies as well. Grew those last year as well. Can't really remember what we did with them. I think I just dried them with the peri chilies as well. Got crinkly chilies. I don't know the name of these, but I bought them as a plant, and they were really crinkly, but they were like really mild chili. And they were really nice. So I named them crinkly chilies and I saved seeds from them. So these are the crinkly chilies. Bird's eye chilies. These I've saved myself, and we plant these to make peri peri sauce. Peri peri sauce is something that we are perfecting. I wouldn't say that I'm quite there yet because we want it to taste just like the Nando's one, okay? So it is getting good though, but there's like extra steps. So whenever you find recipes, they're not quite there. So we roast the peppers, blister all of the chilies, and we quite like salt fermented lemons. Oh, try again. Lemons in the chili sauce. So there's some extra stages for that, but like I said, it's not quite there yet. But it's really exciting. I really love like getting a recipe and like tweaking it. So we are getting to the point where it's getting really good, but to have that we need bird's eye chilies or peri peri chilies. I believe peri peri chilies are a type of bird's eye chili. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but we absolutely adore our Nando's sauce. So if you're in America, sadly it's something you just don't get in America apparently. There's only like 1 or 2 locations, but it's something that is very popular in the UK, a little bit of a cheeky Nando's. So it is a really nice way to do it. And during lockdown, obviously everything was closed, and that was when we started making our own peri-peri sauce. So it's been a few years now, I think 3 years, maybe 4 years, that we've been growing and trying to get that perfected. So we're like almost there. Obviously I haven't been growing my own lemons. One day maybe I could have like, what are they called, you know, on top next to the house you get like an orange tree, I think it is. That'd be quite cute, grow your own lemons, some oranges, fresh orange juice, but not right now. I just simply don't have the space. These are ghost chilies. This is another plant I bought, and I actually only got one ghost chili or something like that, and I grew it in the greenhouse. So I've really amended that soil. I'm working on that soil, so it probably doesn't help that that was like our first year of growing, and obviously every year your soil gets better and better. So that's super exciting. Right, finish off the family. We've got some of our aubergines. I love aubergines. I quite like them in sauces. Everything you do, you put in sauces. No, I really like them in sauces. I didn't grow up eating aubergines, so I'm not quite at the stage of eating them like, although I quite like them. When in the summer, we do like really quick sort of meals because obviously you're super busy, and one of the ones I quite like is like potato hash, which is like chopped up potatoes with some eggs in it, and sometimes we throw in any vegetables that we've got, we go ahead and throw them in the skillet with the potatoes. So we really enjoy that with some aubergine chopped up in there. But really we're still at the stage of like experimenting with aubergine. It's lovely stuff though. Some of it you do need to soak to get the bitterness out, but these are actually quite nice. So I have one seed of this left. This is just a mixed variety of aubergines, so all different colours. There's this one that's white with like a almost marbling purple on. Very beautiful, very, very beautiful. This one here is a Lista di Granda. So it's a larger aubergine. I can't really remember what it was like, but I've always loved the aubergines. The only problem that I have with the aubergines, and I've learnt this by trial and error, when you're harvesting an aubergine, grab it by the flesh, not the green bit at the top, because there's long spiny bits at the top that go through your thumb. And I never knew that until obviously I went to harvest one and stuck my thumb straight on it. Another one we're going to get, I try it, and I try this every year, and it has a really bad or low germination rate, so I'm going to go ahead and try to germinate them on kitchen roll before going ahead and putting them into soil. And it's called a Turkish aubergine. The Turkish aubergine is very small, it's about this big, and it's got tiger stripes on it. It's a beautiful aubergine, and it is probably the best tasting aubergine that I've ever eaten, like in my entire life. And it's orange and it's absolutely beautiful. The only problem is it kind of is really hard to germinate. So try it every year. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and it's just like the fate of the gods sort of thing. But this year I feel quite confident. I always feel confident in January though, whenever I'm talking about like growing vegetables and stuff like that. But we'll see, won't we? Oh, that's the Turkish one. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to be sowing, so this is the fourth I can count, fourth thing. So this is quite exciting. I'm always excited to try these. These are ornamental cabbages, so they are edible, but like, you know when you get a bouquet of flowers and you're like, is that a cabbage? It's a cabbage. It's called an ornamental cabbage. Some of them are like bright pink in the middle, some of them are white, and I've always wanted to go ahead and try to grow some. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. So that's the plan. Next is called Golden Ace Promo 2, and this is a very large cabbage head that you go ahead and sow early so that you have an abundant harvest. We do like quite a lot of summer cabbages, and this is ready in like July, so it's like prime coleslaw cabbage. I love coleslaw, we eat quite a bit of it. So that's going to be super exciting. It's a nice early one. This one is a cauliflower. It's called all year round, and as it says on the packet, it's all year round. If all year round ends in November to December, so it's one of those ones that you have most of the year, but it's quite a nice one. It's quite reliable. It does get like a little bit of black spot on the kernels. Is it kernels? On the flowering part, so you've got to watch out for that, but it is a nice one. Right, let's go ahead on to the fifth one. These are herbs, so we don't really cook that much with a lot of salt because my doctor says it's bad for me. So we go ahead and put a lot of chili in things and a lot of herbs, etc. So to like move that flavour along, because it can be dull otherwise. So what we have here is like the tasty section of our garden. So we've got sorrel, which is a very nice little herb there, and you can pretty much grow that all year round. It tastes a little bit like star anise. I love star anise. Some people don't like it, but I just love that flavour of star anise. It's like fantastic. Got wheatgrass, which is meant to be very good for you, and I've been attempting to add into my diet. It's really good because you grow it as a microgreen, and microgreens are the king this time of year. You can grow tons of them and it only takes a few weeks, which I quite like. Chive garlic. I love garlic chives. Garlic, anything with garlic in, I'm just there. But we like garlic chive dips and all that sort of stuff, and it really does add to the flavour of your meal. And if you run out of garlic, then garlic chives are really great to sort of throw in. At that point we have loads of garlic scapes as well, so it's really yummy. I like the garlic scapes to be used like, I think that they can be used like as a substitute for what's it called, asparagus. That's how we use them. Maybe I'm a bit weird, but we really enjoy them like that. So we're going to go ahead and do that again this year, and they're really nice in stir fries and stuff. So garlic chives will probably go into soups and stews. Celery is a must have in this household. We make a lot of chicken stock. I love homemade chicken stock. I really like chicken stock, to be honest, especially now. So I really fancy some chicken stock, but it's really good for you, and like I said, it really boosts up the flavour. And if you make your own chicken stock, you can guarantee that A, it doesn't have a load of rubbish in it, and B, you can go ahead and reduce the amount of salt. I don't put any salt in my chicken stock, but we put in tons of flavour, leeks and all sorts of stuff like that. So it is a priority to have things like celery, so that we can go ahead and grow a ton of ingredients for our chicken broths. Now, saying that, I do find that pink and red celery is much easier to grow than green celery. Green celery can be quite difficult to germinate. The idea for it though is that when you sprinkle on your celery seeds, don't cover them up because they need light to germinate. That was like a game changer when I realised that. Because obviously normally you bury seeds, but these are sprinkle on top seeds, which was like it was a game changer. And we grew honestly more celery than we knew what to do with. We kind of grow celery on like a 2-year cycle, because the celery grow tends to grow back. So we planted it last year, so we'll have enough for next year, because once it dies down it will carry on growing. And that is the red celery that we grew this year. So funny, right? I was watching this thing on YouTube from this seed company, and it was like red celery, and I was like, oh, I've never seen red celery before. You know, English, lived here all my life, and I was like, that's really interesting, red celery. So I watched a video on it and it was like, red celery, it's amazing, typical British plant. You can't see a garden without red celery. And I'm like, never seen a garden with red celery in my life. And like, I garden, I see other people's gardens, but apparently it's in all British people's gardens. Must be true because it's in my garden now, so they sold it to me. But it was just really funny when they said that. I've got some annuals here as well. perennial, sorry, although the garlic chives are also perennial. So the perennial is stuff like sage. I actually grew my sage bush from seed, sorry, no, I lied. Ooh. And really proud of that. So we've got this like a backup. This came in the variety pack when I did my calendar that year, so that was a great buy. More chives. I have chives already, but not only do I think, well, chives are perennial, so you grow them and you get them forever. Chives are amazing. They just make things taste fantastic, especially when you've like run out of your stored onions and you don't have any onions sort of coming in. These are fantastic onion flavour. But the flowers are gorgeous, and the bees love them. I love bees, so anything that brings the bees anything that brings the bees in, I'm really happy with. And I really like that about the herbs. Even like sage has beautiful flowers on it, you know, and I'm pretty sure you can use them for teas and stuff like that. But to be honest, I just keep them and I think they just look so lovely. So I just like, oh, look at them. They make me happy. So another thing that I'm probably going to go ahead and sow presently, probably in the greenhouse, is my leaves for salads. You know, as you get into January, everyone's thinking about losing a bit of weight. I obviously can't lose weight because I'm gaining weight, but my partner is into his healthy eating again, although I think that he's eaten his body weight in chocolate, as everyone should do at Christmas. So he's more into his healthy eating, and one of the things that we really like in this house is lettuce, because we have it in sandwiches, we have it on the side, we have it all over this place. So we have a bright and spicy lettuce, which I quite like in very, 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 very moderation. So it's nice having mustard seeds and stuff, but I only like one leaf per sandwich or something. So I'll probably do a couple of seeds of that. What's this one? These are all from Simply Seeds. They're quite a nice little seed company. This one is a sweet variety. We really like the sweet varieties. I don't like anything that's bitter, really, but this is a nice sweet variety, and this will be super exciting to go ahead and have, so that we can go ahead and pick. What I do is I do cut and come again, so every time I go down the allotment I give them a haircut and then let it grow again, so about once a week, and then we eat on that for a little while. This one here, oh, it's red veined sorrel. It's one of those things that I just don't know how to use. I know people say use it in soups and stews. I'm going to. It's a perennial. It does get long kind of like flower stems on it, and apparently I'm very good at growing it, so it's something that I definitely want to incorporate into meals. And these ones are frilly. I love the frilly leaf. I'm like a fan of the sweet and the frilly leaf mostly. I just think they look so pretty, especially when you have all like the dark red ones. And I like a mixed salad bowl, and we eat quite a bit of salad in the summer because it is too hot in my kitchen to have the oven running. Although you'll notice that I will do all my canning in the heat of the summer, but it's just too much having the oven on as well. I think I'd melt. So let's see how that will pan out. One more thing, Jazzy got this for Christmas, I believe. She got strawberries. So these are alpine strawberries. So they are much smaller than normal strawberries, but they're intensely sweet. They're meant to be the best tasting strawberry. I've never really had much. Well, no, I did grow them from seed a couple of years ago. They do take forever from seed, but you know what? I'm planning to live for a few more years, so it shouldn't be a problem. I'm always thinking when I'm like, oh, should I plant that from seed? I'm like, well, I'm still going to be here. Might as well start today. So last but not least, flowers. You know I love getting the bees into the old garden. It is so important. So we're going to start off trying to get them in. We've attracted them with Sweet William, which is, I don't know if, my nan loves Sweet William, and whenever I see it I think of her, and she's a lovely lady, so it's a nice thing. So I just think they're absolutely fabulous. And and this one's called Election. It's just an absolutely wonderful variety, and it's one of those things that I think of my nan, so she absolutely loves these, so I'm gonna go ahead and grow them. Next one are, I can never pronounce that, focus. No, don't focus on me, focus on that. There you go. We call these bunny rabbits. Me and my sister used to, in my nan's garden actually, we used to pull these all up and we used to make them talk like little bunny rabbits. Have you ever done that? Little bunny rabbits. And I just think they're really nice, and they have tons and tons of flowers on them, and I taught my daughter how to use them like bunny rabbits and get them to talk. So she loves them, she pulls them and then she does this exactly the same. So they're littered all over the floor basically, but they are really nice, and hopefully they will self-seed, but if they don't, I'm going to go ahead and plant more, because there's a mixed variety, you get tons of different colours in them, and I have some absolutely gorgeous colours there. Got some oranges and pinks, some dark reds, and you know what, the more the merrier, because we're feeding the bees. I wonder if the colour of the flower will like affect the pollen and the nectar they get. You know, like how you like eat the rainbow, I wonder if they have to like take pollen from all flowers of different colours. Maybe it's just varieties, I don't know, but it sounds delicious. And these are called Livingstone daisies. I love daisies. I think they're really cute. Probably one of my favourite flowers actually, daisies, and I just think, look at the variety of colour there. I love mixed varieties of flowers, so you get tons of different colours. I feel like I get a bang for my buck, and I really enjoy that. I'm going to do tons of dahlias this year as well, probably about 50 dahlias. And the great thing about growing dahlias is they are perennial, but most importantly you can give them away as presents, because my mum's already been like, oh, doing dahlias again this year, I'll have like 1,000. I'm like, oh, okay. I've never really dig them up either, and they've worked out fine. They've come back every year, so obviously don't take that for red. I'm not saying you should do that, but it is interesting that that has worked out so far for me. So let me know down below what you're sowing this January. I'm super excited about this season. I'm feeling really good about the season. It's been a weird couple of seasons. Last summer was like really hit and miss with the weather. This winter, I'm like, what is going on? The wind the other day was ridiculous. I literally thought I was going to be flown out the kitchen, and then it's been like really warm. But apparently next week it's going to, like, the beast from the east apparently is going to be hitting. So it's really strange. I tried to like work out what's going to happen, you know, try to predict. Not that I can, but like I try to. What's happening next year? I don't know. I feel like it might be a good pepper and tomato year, on the basis that it wasn't this year. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. So let me know down below if you think we should double down on some vegetables or whatever, because we like a glut, it lasts a few years, because the next year you can't guarantee there's going to be any tomatoes or whatever is going to happen the next year, so we never know. But it's super exciting. Think of that. I do know that I'm going to absolutely smash certain vegetables. We definitely need more sweet corn, because I'm on my last bag of frozen sweet corn that I harvested from the garden, which is super exciting because I love sweet corn. And I'm going to make sure that I'm trying as much as possible to grow a whole year's worth of food for my family. And I think it's super exciting this year because there's a member of our family that's not even here yet, and we're already sowing food which is going to be their first meal, which is crazy, isn't it? Like, I just don't get how that's going to be like about, but that's so cool in my head anyway. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Where's the button? These ones are like a living stone bait. Try again.